guys, so it is time for part 2 of the question and answer video. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started right away on the questions. All right, so first question, have you had a hard time with cyber bullies like other YouTubers have? If so, how do you deal with it? I really haven't had too many issues in terms of cyber bullies. I have had some people come in like just randomly give my videos like thumbs down and things, and you know, I have gotten some kind of rude comments here and there, but it's like I haven't really ever been like seriously bullied to a point where I think I have like any serious haters or anything like that. I mean, I might, but I don't know. How I deal with them usually is if they are really writing really rude comments, I just tend to ignore them and then block the user. I don't get into arguments with them. I think that's not a good way to handle things. You said a couple of times that you lost a lot of weight. What made you decide and what steps? And tell us what steps you took to learn the healthy way and how long did it take you? Yeah, so I did lose a lot of weight. I used to weigh 240 pounds and I'm only like 5'2", so yeah, that was really big. And yeah, now my pre-pregnancy weight was 138 pounds, so I did lose a lot of weight. And I guess what made me decide to lose it was I was just really tired of feeling like crap all the time. I just really got to a point where I just didn't feel very comfortable in my own skin anymore, and I guess that was it. I mean, I really was very fatigued all the time and I just didn't feel good. So I knew that I needed to change. How I did it was, you know, I think I kind of went through, it was a long process for me. It took a couple of years for it to really click and, you know, be where I am today to a point where I know how to maintain my weight. I know my body. I know what's good for my body. I kind of went through everything. You know, I tried different diets. I tried you know, counting calories. I did the whole thing. So I've kind of been all over the place, but I'd say where it really transitioned and where things really started making a huge impact is when I moved to Germany, because I've been finding that I walk a whole lot more here. Like in Europe, you just tend to walk a whole lot more than you do in America because there's a great public transport system here, much better than most states in America. I also became a vegetarian really soon after I came here, and a lot of the weight really started falling off very, very fast ever since I became a vegetarian. And I would say, I think, you know, a vegetarian diet, it will probably make you lose a little bit of weight. I mean, obviously, if you're eating a whole bunch of other crap, I mean, that's not going to do much help for you, but it does being a vegetarian does take away a lot of unwanted fat that you don't really need in your diet. Like, you know, when you become a vegetarian, you tend to, instead of eating the trans animal fat, you kind of transition into the more healthy fats, like things from avocados and nuts and seeds, which is kind of what I did, and it really made a huge difference. So how long it took me, it was probably a couple of years. So yeah, that's kind of that story in a nutshell. I'm probably gonna make a whole video on that, you know, on my beauty channel at some point. All right, next question. What other names were you considering for your baby, boy and girl names? One name that we really considered for a girl was Amélie, and it's a French name. It's a French version of Amelia. And I really love the name. I just don't like the way I say it. I just kind of felt like I just didn't say it right. Plus, the more I started, like, you know, saying the name Olivia in my head, I just really fell in love with that. And in terms of boy names, I'm actually going to not say anything because, you know, someday we may have a boy and I want to do like another name reveal or something kind of similar, and who knows if we still like the same name. But yeah, so that's one other name. We also considered the name Rosalie, but my husband doesn't really care for that name all too much. He doesn't hate it, but he doesn't really like it too much. What other names did we consider for her? Emma has always been a consideration. I just feel like it's really overused at the moment. I really like the name Esme, but my husband hates it. So yeah, I don't want to say the boys' names. I don't really have that many boys' names that I really like. And there's a good chance we may end up using those in the future. So okay, next question is what is your birth plan and do you plan on breastfeeding? I'm going to be making a whole video on my birth plan, but in short, I plan on going, you know, drug-free, and it's going to be a hospital birth. And birthing in hospitals in Germany is a lot different than it is in America, and I actually have a video that you guys can go see of a virtual tour of the hospital I plan on delivering at. I'll put the link in the description box. So yeah, definitely go check that out if that's something you're interested in, because I talk a lot about what I want for my birth in that video too, but there will be another one really soon once I have my birth plan made up. And then breastfeeding, yes, I do plan on breastfeeding. What approach are you taking after Olivia is born towards exercising? Is your husband able to have some time off after you deliver and stay at home? Does your family have plans to visit you in Germany? You look so healthy. Thank you. All right, so what approach do I plan to take towards exercising? I plan on taking a pretty hands-on approach. You know, as soon as I get the okay from my midwife and from my doctor that I can go for it, I probably will go for it relatively quickly. I really miss not being able to exercise quite as strenuously as I was before. Not that my exercise is super strenuous, I just do like to do some higher impact things every once in a while because it makes me feel, I don't know, excited. So I do miss that, and I probably will be taking a hands-on approach to my exercise as soon as possible. I'll probably start going for walks, you know, with Olivia really soon after she's born, you know, so long as I get the okay to. And yeah, exercise is a huge important part of my life. Is your husband able to have some time off after you deliver? Yes, he's gonna get 4 weeks off. What is Olivia's middle name going to be? Her middle name is going to be Willow. Do you plan to be a stay-at-home mom? Yes, I do plan on being a stay-at-home mom. How did you deal with a lot of negative tests before a positive test? It's a good question, actually. I don't really know how I deal with it. I think it's hard. It's kind of like, I can't really answer that question because TTC is just a journey that I've kind of put behind me for some reason. Like, so, like, it seems like it was so long ago for some reason. How did I deal with a lot of negative tests? Yeah, it's not easy to, and I actually would highly recommend just waiting for your period to come. I think that's actually a lot easier. Well, I mean, it still kind of sucks when your period comes, but it's just like it's a savings on money, that's for sure. Because if you guys don't know, it took us about 6 active cycles to conceive Olivia, which is considered normal range. So it seemed like it took like a long time because I had started making TTC vlogs in January, and but we went on so many breaks because I was so indecisive about what I want. If you guys don't know, I mean, I live in Germany, and I started getting opportunities in terms of going to school and things, so I kind of considered maybe putting TTC off for maybe even a year even. But then I decided to go for it 1 cycle before Christmas so that I could maybe, you know, announce it to my family, and I just felt like, you know, let's just go for it, let's see what happens, and I'm really glad that I did that. So, but yeah, to answer your question, I really don't know how I dealt with it. You know, I just kind of had no choice but to. Do you have any fears about labor and delivery? Yeah, I mean, I think everyone does. I think it's just mostly fear of the unknown because it's something I have never done before. I wouldn't say that I'm like really that afraid of like, you know, actually giving birth, like, you know, the act of giving birth itself. I'm actually really looking forward to it because I have, you know, got a lot of positive resources in terms of natural childbirth because that's what I hope for. And, you know, I have a really positive way of thinking about it. So, I'm not really that afraid of, you know, giving birth or anything. I'm not really afraid of the pain or dealing with the pain or anything like that. But a lot of fears that I do have is, you know, I am giving birth in a hospital, and even though it is alternative and midwives do handle the deliveries here and it's an awesome place, I still just worry that my birth wishes may not be respected to the full extent that they may be at home, like if I were to do a home birth. A home birth is something I definitely considered, and I kind of wish I would have maybe planned a little bit further ahead when I was earlier in my pregnancy to try and make that happen. But, you know, my husband's family and my husband don't actually feel very comfortable with home birth, and my husband is extremely educated on natural childbirth. I make sure he is, and about the statistics of home birth, but no matter how much information I would give him, he just still fears a home birth. Like, he just is afraid of it, and I feel like we both do need to kind of be on the same page, at least for the first birth. I mean, obviously my opinion is the more important one, but you know, maybe we will try a home birth with the second one. But, you know, I guess the main thing I'm trying to say is the thing I am a little bit afraid of is I just want to have a intervention-free birth, like, and even so, this hospital is alternative. Going to a hospital still does put me at a higher risk to have a lot more interventions than if I would be giving birth at home.